Oh yeah, that'll go over real quick.
Township Council, which schedule designates the time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We are using electronic amplifying recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record. And we request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly.
My question is that there's a list of bidders. There's some high and some low. Is everyone who's shown on this as a bidder with the price, is every one of those been vetted, so to speak, like proven to be compliant with insurance and bonds or whatever else is part of the requirement besides the price bid?
Well, we list everyone who has bid on the specific RFP or RFQ. Madam Clerk, you want to address that because I know you oversee our.
Yes.
Another question, Resolution 300, where looks like we're going to move forward with purchasing of the Hill Farm as open space property.
No, it is a support of an application. to preserve that parcel of land.
Okay, that's what I don't understand. Could you explain that? So this is not a purchase of a parcel?
No.
What does preserve mean in practical sense to a township?
We're supporting an app. Not quite familiar with that.
Okay. On ordinance 1318, where we're setting up these charitable funds. These charitable funds for Public Works Charitable Fund and Public Safety Charitable Fund, is this only applied to the Gloucester Township portion of our property tax, the 27% that we
and therefore I don't believe
To
So-
answer your question, if it does get passed, it would be your entire taxes, not just the municipal. The donation, the charitable donation would be to the township, and you could do it against your entire tax bill.
But the
Over
different funds are
$10,000.
Used for that person's
Whatever the
tax.
resident
Yeah,
chooses.
but I donated to a charity that's called Public Safety.
Correct, so the $1,000 would stay with the public safety.
And where would the 9,000 go?
Go
Oh,
against your property taxes.
9,000 goes back
appealed to the Department of Transportation twice now for our money to come back to us. And now we're trusting their judgment for you to use their template in the hopes that the IRS, which we know won't do that, property tax down below 10,000, reduce their taxes. That's the way you do it. Paying it to giving a charitable contribution to your town to the same general fund that you're paying your property tax to anyway. I don't know how the IRS is going to say that that is now reducing your taxes. You pay.
Pete Heimbaugh, Morningstar Court. One thing I neglected to mention the first time I spoke, I submitted in advance some questions to Mr. Cardis, and Mr. Cardis did do the courtesy of responding to my questions.
Thank you, Mr. Forrest.
Yes, thank you. Related to one of those questions, Resolution 273, and this goes back to the October 10th meeting, which I wasn't in attendance. We had a list of Gloucester Township owned properties, 15 Gloucester Township owned properties, that it was resolved at the meeting that those properties will now go up for auction. And I think that tomorrow, that auction takes place. Yeah, I'm familiar with the lien process where the township can put a lien on a property for uncollected taxes. And I'm familiar with the foreclosure process where a bank or the debt holder can foreclose on a private property. How does the township come to ownership of properties?
Well, once the foreclosure is perfected, the judge decrees that the property is owned by the township. So it went through that process. A judge made that decision.
Well, a bank or the mortgage holder would foreclose.
We were permitted to foreclose after a 6-month period. These properties were well beyond 6 months. They had been sitting as tax exempt, just sitting there. Quite a few of them are buildable lots. I don't know, there are a couple I think that are not, but it was the mayor and council's determination that these should be put back on as rateables, and therefore, since they were owned by us and there was no public good to be served by us holding on to them, that they would be auctioned.
And these were up until now, these are tax exempt parcels? Is that what you said?
Yes, because they were owned by the township. We couldn't sell them if we didn't own them.
So these properties are foreclosed. There's no one claims ownership. I mean, they're like no owner claims. There's no one that claims ownership. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. There's a judgment. There was a judgment that was made that placed the ownership from an individual or from a mortgage company to the township of Gloucester.
Right. Typically, when this happens, are the back taxes paid?
We're beyond that point.
I mean, typically, yeah, before that.
There were plenty of opportunities for the taxes to be paid.
No, yeah, right, and they weren't?
That's correct.
Okay, they weren't, okay. So this 15, roughly how long a time frame? I guess, really my question, like roughly how many per year does the township require?